Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
It's so wonderful to be with you this morning. I am the Reverend William Levwood, affectionately known as Rev Lev. My pronouns are he and him. We're so delighted that you decided to join us this morning at Accotink Unitarian Universalist Church. And whether you're joining us in person or online today, let us start our service as we regularly do by centering ourselves by taking a deep breath all together. We open and welcome to the ancestral people of this land, acknowledging that our church, like all of Burke, rests on the unceded territory of the Manahoic tribe of the Great Sioux Nation. We seek healing and the realization of justice with the people of this land who live on in their descendants, the present-day members of the Monacan Indian Nation, the Patawomic Indian Tribe of Virginia, and the Piscataway Indian Nation. We honor the ancestors as we move toward healing so that all together shall one day know full justice.
Welcome to Accotink Unitarian Universalist Church. I'm Sheila Doles. My pronouns are she, her, and I'm happy to be your worship associate today. If you aren't new to Accotink, look around you. Do you see people you haven't met or haven't spoken to in a while? These people like you and want to meet you. Help us live up to our mission to be a welcoming and inclusive spiritual home for all by reaching out and making a connection. By visiting this congregation, newcomers are in a transition moment, and people in transitions are more open to new friendships. That means that your new best friend might be here this morning, and this is your chance to get to them before someone else does. Whether you're a longtime member or a newcomer or something in between, we encourage you to stay for our social hour online and in person after service. We're so delighted that you decided to join us today. Welcome.
Right now, I'd like to invite you to rise in body or in spirit as we light our chalice so that you can say our chalice lighting words with us. We're going to say these words from our mission statement so that our lighting of our chalice is with the commitment to live out the mission of this congregation. Notice it's slightly different than how we've done this before, though we haven't done it in a while. So let's say this part of our mission statement all together. Together, we care in community, grow in spirit, and act for justice. So this month, our theme is joy, and it's a reminder that even in the most challenging of times, we need to find joy where we can. And I just wanted to point out that there is joy coming because Ovechnik is about to break Wayne Gretzky's record for the most goals. Is it goals in hockey? The most goals scored. So he just tied that. I just learned that that's what, you see that little whiteboard over there? Anybody wonder what that's been about? We've been keeping track. He's up to what, 894. As I said, we need to get our joy where we can these days. I also like to give a preview of what's coming up during these centering words. So next week, we're going to talk about Passover and how that message of being strangers in a strange land and therefore being welcoming to strangers is so important now, especially with all the vitriol against immigrants in this country, and more than vitriol, actual action, just horrible action against immigrants. So we're going to explore that theme, and we're going to find joy in our coming together in our service next Sunday, and we'll have joy after the service. At 5 p.m. there's a Passover Seder, and we don't have that many people who've RSVP'd for that, but I know you're coming. But in this case, we need the RSVP because we're preparing food for you. It's $20 for adults, $10 for children. So please go to our newsletter if you'd like to come to that Seder. next Sunday afternoon and sign up and RSVP and let us know that you're coming. The following Sunday is Easter. And I'm really excited. We have every third Sunday of every month, we do a multi-generational service. And we're not content to just talk about Easter the way other people talk about Easter. We're really going to look at on that Sunday, that Easter Sunday, what does resurrection, what does rebirth look like for us as Unitarian Universalists? And then the following Sunday, we'll explore Earth Day with a service from our Green Sanctuary Committee, and with Brenna Kelly is going to be our guest preacher, so we're very excited about that. We're going to be co-ordaining Brenna Kelly on June 1st. Yes. That ordination on June 1st will be in the afternoon at 4 p.m. at the Rockville congregation that we're co-ordaining with. So a lot of wonderful things happening this month as we explore joy together. This Sunday, we're going to talk about joy in the context of how we're not going to let our joy be taken away. And I wanted to lift up Transgender Day of Visibility, which was this past Monday, March 31st. And this is our UU Common Read for this year. Every year we have a UU Common Read. This is called Authentic Selves, Celebrating Trans and Non-Binary People and Their Families. I want to encourage people, it's portraits, like photographic portraits and written portraits from a number of trans and non-binary people and their families, including Sarah McBride, the first transgender person elected to our United States House of Representatives, Congress, and there's Sarah McBride in the book. As well as Jazz and Jeanette Jennings. You may know the picture book, I Am Jazz, and other ways that they've created visibility. And I just want to share, the foreword is written by Jazz and Jeanette Jennings together, mother and daughter. And it says, in this foreword, the word alone is mentioned quite a lot because both our family and the contributors to Authentic Selves, this book, want others to know they are not alone, which coincidentally is our theme for our pledge drive. You are not alone, sustaining hope together. So may we continue to sustain hope by letting all people, especially trans and non-binary people, but all people know that you are not alone, that this community is here for you, and we will show up for you joyfully and with commitment.
This joy that I have, the world didn't give it to me. This joy that I have, the world didn't give it to me. This joy that I have, the world didn't give it to me. The world didn't give it, the world can't take it away. That last part one more time. The world didn't give it, the world can't take it away. The world didn't give it, the world can't take it away. Last time. The world didn't give it, the world can't take it away.
I don't know how I'm supposed to top that. Woo! Thank you, Brad. So, my name is Michelle Anderson. I use the pronouns she and her, and I'm delighted to be your Children and Youth Spiritual Director. And today, we have a story that was chosen by our very own TAC committee. Does anybody know what TAC stands for here at church? Yeah. What is it? Yeah, way back there.
True Accotink colors.
True Accotink colors. They are a fabulous group. If you don't know them, raise your hand if you're in TAC. Raise your hand. Quan's in there. If you haven't met and become involved in TAC, get one of those people to tell you about it, because it's fabulous. It's fabulous. There are LGBTQ plus team, and they do fabulous things for us, including recommending this wonderful story, which is in honor of Transgender Day of Awareness. And it is titled, Julian is a Mermaid. It's by Jessica Love.
Read aloud is Julian is a Mermaid by Jessica Love. This is a boy named Julian. And this is his abuela. And those are some mermaids. Julian loves mermaids. Vámonos, mijo. This is our stop. Abuela, did you see the mermaids? I saw them, hijo. Abuela, I am also a mermaid. I'm going to take a bath. You be good. Julian has a good idea. Oh. Uh-oh. Come here, mi hijo. For me, abuela? For you, Julian. Where are we going? You'll see, says abuela. Mermaids, whispered Julian. Like you, mijo. Let's join them. And they do.
How could anyone ever tell you were anything less than beautiful? How could anyone ever tell you were less than whole? How could anyone ever notice that your loving is a miracle? How deeply you're connected to my soul.
A Portable Paradise by Roger Robinson. And if I speak of paradise, then I'm speaking of my grandmother, who told me to carry it always on my person, concealed, so no one else would know but me. That way they can't steal it, she'd say. And if life puts you under pressure, trace its ridges in your pocket. Smell its piney scent on your handkerchief. Hum its anthem under your breath. And if your stresses are sustained and daily, get yourself to an empty room. Be it hotel, hostel, or hovel, find a lamp and empty your paradise onto a desk. Your white sands, green hills, and fresh fish. Shine the lamp on it like the fresh hope of morning and keep staring at it till you sleep.
It's a hard time right now. It's hard to keep our spirits up, hard to keep the world from taking away our joy, our strength, our pride, our peace. It's especially true if you're a transgender person. Though one of the contributors to Authentic Selves mentions that the reason it's so hard is because we've come so far. Because we've come so far, the pushback is happening now, but we're still better off than we were before. But we also need to show up for our transgender and non-binary siblings. Because I've mentioned in the past when we sang the song, This Joy, that song that we sang and we said, the world can't take away our joy, can't take away our peace. I shared that sometimes the world can take away our joy, can take away our peace. There is a way that the stresses of the world can eat away at our joy, can eat away at our strength and our pride, our sense of peace and equanimity. But there's also a way of understanding these life-giving qualities as existing at a deeper level of reality. That there is a joy, a deep well of joy that cannot be taken from us, that is always there, that is always available for us to draw on. That there is a deep well of strength, a deep well of pride, a deep well of peace. I think that this deep well is what some people are talking about when they talk about God. And I think it's this deep well that the poet Roger Robinson is speaking of when he speaks of paradise. He isn't speaking of some future paradise, but rather, as Jesus says in the Gospel of Luke, that the kingdom of God is within and among us. The poet Roger Robinson is telling us that paradise is something we can carry with us. My grandmother told me to carry paradise always on my person. Robinson is reminding us that paradise is a gift we carry with us. This paradise, this deep well of peace and power and love and hope and joy, is a gift from those who came before, a gift from those who love us and have loved us into being. A gift from the ancestors, genetic or spiritual, who show us the way to survive and thrive in the midst of persecution and oppression. Robinson's grandmother doesn't only advise him to carry paradise with him, but to conceal it. That way they can't steal it, she told him. And I don't think she's saying to conceal our identity. On this Sunday, when we're lifting up Trans Day of Visibility, it's not our identity that we're called to conceal. But Padre Otuama on the podcast Poetry Unbound draws attention to that word conceal. Padre Otuama hears a special meaning in the choice of that word in the voice of this Black poet. Here's an echo of the implication that Black boys and Black men are dangerous, are a hidden danger, that they carry danger hidden within, just like carrying a concealed weapon. But Robinson turns this word conceal on its head, because in his poem, it isn't a weapon that's concealed, it's a portable paradise. It isn't a danger that's hidden, it's a reservoir that brings hope and renewal. Right now, when so many people are under attack, and the justification is the lie that some people are dangerous, these people are dangerous, people of color are dangerous, trans people are dangerous, immigrants are dangerous, women are dangerous, liberals are dangerous. But it isn't danger that we're carrying, sometimes concealed. It isn't danger we're carrying within us. It's paradise. It's a deep well of peace and power, a deep reservoir of love and joy and hope. So when we sing, "This joy that I have, the world didn't give it to me," the world didn't give it and the world can't take it away, we aren't saying there aren't forces trying to steal our joy. We're saying we won't let them. We're saying there is a deep well of power and peace and love and joy and hope that is available to us as a resource, and we will keep coming back to this deep well and keep drinking of its life-giving waters. We're saying that there is nothing anyone can do to take that away from us. Though they are going to try and keep trying, we are going to keep in touch with that deep well even when it isn't easy, even and especially when it's hard to do so. And I don't know about you, but right now I need that deep well more than ever. Right now, we need practices, simple practices, to reconnect us throughout the day to this deep well of power and peace. To trace its ridges in your pocket, to smell its piney scent on your handkerchief, to hum its anthem under your breath. Those simple practices may look different for each of us. Some of you know that I was a modern dancer in my past career, and after I stopped being a professional dancer, there was a time in my life when I used to wear dance pants underneath my professional pants. I needed to remember that part of me, that dancing part of me that was deeper than the role I was playing in my profession, that dancing part of me that was freer than the professional me. That's one way to carry that portable paradise with you, albeit a somewhat eccentric one. The poem advises you to trace paradise's ridges in your pocket, and I've done that too, kept a stone or some beads in my pocket, rub my hand along that stone to remember to come back to that primordial experience of belonging, a belonging no one can take from us. Personally, I like a mostly smooth stone with just one spot of roughness to create a kind of breath, kind of rhythm in my hand. Smooth, smooth, rough, smooth, smooth, rough. I've also kept a miniature bar of scented soap in my pocket and pulled it out when I needed to, or oiled my beard with a spice scent to remember the beauty, the paradise that is available, that envelops us. I've hummed a chant under my breath, or even just within my mind, even just a line from a poem or a rap song, like the lines from DC Slam poet Saul Williams, "Out of swamps blossom lotus. The muddy water blue daughters of infinity, grant we water-bodied bodhisattvas our serenity." The muddy water blue daughters of infinity, grant we water-bodied bodhisattvas our serenity. Or another Saul Williams line, shorter and simpler, reminding us that when you open to it, vulnerability is power. I find that particularly useful when parenting. Vulnerability is power. When I soften with my child and let them know what's going on with me and ask what's going on with them, it's a lot more effective than just saying, this is the way it is. Vulnerability is power. So we carry with us the stone in our pocket, light the scented candle on our lunch break, hum an anthem under our breath that brings us back to paradise, that reminds us of the essential goodness of the earth, that reminds us of the essential goodness of our own beings as earthlings. We need to be in contact with that paradise, with that deep well of power and peace, with that reminder, as Brad sang at the beginning of the service, that we are beautiful people. We are beautiful people. Though our hearts are broken. The poet tells us that if your stresses are sustained and daily, get yourself to an empty room, be it hotel, hostel, or hovel, and find a lamp. And empty your paradise onto a desk. Your white sands, green hills, and fresh fish, shine the lamp on it like the fresh hope of morning. And keep staring at it. Keep staring at it till you sleep. The poet Roger Robinson is British Trinidadian, born in England to Trinidadian parents. He was raised in Trinidad from age 4 to 18 before returning to London, and now splits his time between Trinidad and London. So his portable paradise from his grandmother is white sands, green hills, fresh fish. Your portable paradise might be different. You might pour out the dappled sunlight of spruce, the dappled sunlight streaming through spruce and Doug fir. You might pour out the peeling black bark from the smooth red of madrone and manzanita. You might pour out a cold, clear river bordered by smooth stones large enough to lay your body on, warming yourself in the sun. You might pour out the vision of a heron fishing for tadpoles in a marsh between live oaks drenched in Spanish moss. You might pour out a rocky coast, a high cliff above crashing waves, or a small inlet inset in the California hills. A small oasis that feels hidden even though everyone knows of it. Somehow magically, no more than a few people visit at any given time. You might pour out an ordinary porch in an ordinary neighborhood. You might pour out a childhood memory of friends on bikes or scooters in the freedom of a summer afternoon as it extends into the evening. Whatever paradise you pour out onto that desk or table, pour it out daily. We need to set aside that time at the end of the day to pour out our paradise. In story or in song, in dancing or in lovemaking, in yoga or in meditation, in conversation or in quiet. In tears, you cry silently or sob loudly. pour out your paradise at the end of each day. Because though our hearts are broken, we are beautiful people. Though our hearts are broken, we know that we are not alone, that right here we are home. We know that together we'll be free, that our safety is with each other. Those are all words from the song that opened the service, reminding us that we are beautiful people, even though some people try to tell us that we are less than beautiful. We are beautiful people in our diversity of genders and gender expressions, in our diverse racial and cultural backgrounds. We need this portable paradise in our pocket throughout the day. We need to pour out this paradise daily. Because right now, not only our democracy and its freedoms are under attack, but our very sense of our fundamental dignity as human beings is also under attack. So we need to regularly remind ourselves that we are beautiful people who have the right to flourish, to experience joy and strength, pride and peace. I want to emphasize that even more by saying it's not a right, but it's a responsibility that we have to ourselves and to each other to continue to flourish with joy and strength and pride and peace. And I know it isn't easy. I know we need that portable paradise to carry with us, to pour out at the end of each day until we're at rest and sleep finally comes. So may we find that paradise in the stolen moments throughout the day and in that oasis at the end of the day. That paradise, like the one the poet Roger Robinson gives to us in another poem titled Day Moon. It beckons, this spirit-filled mist, like some earthly firmament, this quilted sage and moss expanse can blank out a racist boss. Its trails will heal our trials and rage. We hear the cadence of our breaths and squelched percussion of our boots, walking beneath these branches bent into regal arches, talking till we soothe our too full minds. We walk for miles. Next week, we'll see the heathers bloom. Like us, some may forget they thrive until watched by this full day moon, like ancient rocks lying where they please, we're couched by this soft earth and these dry weeds. May it be so. Amen, 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 and blessed be.
For me the world was created. I'm not alone. To dust I will return. I'm not alone. 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 I'm not. I forgot for a minute who I belong to. The mama, the wind and rain, the beauty and the pain. I'm not alone. For me the world was created. I'm not alone. To dust I will return.
Not too shabby a stone to hold in your pocket or an anthem to hum throughout the day. I'm not alone. I'm not alone. You might take that with you and hum that throughout your days until that I'm not alone becomes a you're not alone that you share with your eyes, with your words, with a hug for a loved one.
Please rise now in body or in spirit and join in our closing words. As we extinguish our chalice, I invite you to join me now in our community blessing with these words of David Bumba, the slightly adapted version. This church is dedicated to the proposition that by celebrating our differences and embracing our diversity, we honor the unity that makes us one and binds us forever together in spite of time, death, and the space between the stars. We pause now in silent witness to that unity. Now that we've gathered together in this welcoming and inclusive spiritual home, let us go out into the world, nourished, rejuvenated, and inspired to share our values. Thank you.